everybody. It's Daphne here at Lure Entertainment. We are sitting down with Myke Michaels. If you're wondering why you cannot see us, it's because we're ghosts and we're here to fuck with your day. So, Myke, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm here to fuck with your day as well.
Why don't you tell everybody how you ended up in the film industry?
I fell in.
You
No,
fell
anyway.
in.
Now, ever since I was a kid, I was very excited. My father took me to set one time to visit some friends of his. He was never in the business. He kind of was a gangster, and he was there visiting some friends on a set with Bridget Bardot in a very old movie when I was about 5 or 6 years old. And they had this little boy that was supposed to go up in an air balloon. And he was crying like a 2-year-old baby. I don't want to go up there. And I said, I want to do it. I want to do it. And somebody heard me say that. Next thing I know, I'm in a hot air balloon flying sky in the high and loving life and screaming how fun this was. And ever since then, that's all I ever wanted to do. And after that, I grew up and I started studying martial arts and singing and playing piano and playing guitar. And I just loved life. And then next thing I know, I got in trouble because I was a bad kid and ended up either, joining the military or going to prison. And I said, you know something? I like a uniform a lot more than I like stripes. So off I went. And when I came back, I started to get into stunts because I was fighting professionally. I was fighting in the ring. I was bare knuckle fighting. I was PKA state champion, and I just didn't stop. And then I got into stunts. They pulled me in. I've been racing dirt bikes since I was a kid, racing street bikes. I've been on a motorcycle since I was 4.5 years old. So I've never been off them, including now at 68. And I just kept going. So I started doing stunts, and I was doing motorcycle racing and martial arts fights and falling and water because I'm part flipper. And next thing I know, I was getting really good. I was getting a little busier, never really making a lot of money because it was the 70s and or 80s, as you know. And that was a hard time. The 70s was really hard for stuntmen unless you were related or you were famous already because they pulled all their buddies in. But I did. I kept trying. I didn't stop. And then one day a friend of mine said, hey, you want to go to a hair show? I said, not really. And he said, oh, come on. It's like a big nightclub. It's all girls. I said, what time are we leaving? So I did go, and since I am a natural artist, I sculpt, I paint, and everything else to do with art I'm into. I'm very particular, meticulous with what I do. So guess what? I went to hair school, and by the time I left school, I had over.
We lost you.
That one. That was ridiculous.
We lost you.
All right, so I'm back. So I went to the hair show and fell in love. Like I said, I came out of school. I came out of school with 18 awards, and I kept going. I went to Vidal Sassoon's, became an artistic director, started doing hair shows all over the world, and then I started doing a lot of celebrities, and they started pulling me on movies. Next thing I know, I'm doing hair on movies. I got into makeup. I assisted Wade Bandy doing hair, and I was his makeup or his hairdresser, and then he started teaching me makeup. And before I know it, I started doing more makeup and loved that even more. So I switched from hair to makeup, and it just went up and up and up. And we got Oscar nominations, Emmy nominations, Giorgio's, and I couldn't stop winning awards, and I couldn't stop loving what I did. But I never stopped acting and doing stunts because that was my main number one love, next to animals and women. And I just kept going, but I can't make a living doing that. So anyway, I enjoyed it. I got bigger and bigger, and I kept doing more and more. And next thing I know, I got really huge. And then people started calling me up for these low budget movies, which was funny because like, oh yeah, well, it's a really good movie. I said, nah. But a lot of those movies were really, really good. And I couldn't stop thinking, why don't I do that movie? And since they're not going to pay me at my full rate, I'll talk them into giving me some acting roles. Well, before I knew it, they enjoyed what I was doing with my acting, and I was stunt coordinating and producing, and I haven't stopped yet. And now I've got about 800 movies under my resume, almost as many as Eric Roberts, but nobody will get that many. He's got like 1,000, and I loved it. So I have stories of the union because they're all over the place. I've got, Taken 1, 2, and 3, Master and Commanders, our Marvel movies, Galaxy, Stranger Things. There's not much I haven't done, and I love doing it. And met some amazing people. And I don't know, you was one. See, I met you through this business. And I can't complain to anybody about where I took it, where I came from, what I did. I came from nothing. I never had help. No one ever gave me my jobs. I got everyone on my own. I earned my own reputation. I didn't have family. I still don't have any family in the business, but my friends and family, who I consider family. And mainly, tell people when they want to get into the business, I say, if you don't love it and it's not your passion, walk away,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of heartache, there's a lot of trouble, there's a lot of backstabbing, there's a lot of crybabies, there's a lot of jealousy, insecurity, there's a lot of political, BS. I mean, it's amazing how much in. But if you really enjoy it, all that bad stuff doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
the love that you get to see when you see your film up on that theater and you go, wow, I did that, or that's me, or I created that, or I helped bring that to life. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. It's an amazing situation. It's like winning a fight, because when I used to go into a fight ring, the first thing I said was, I've already won the fight. And it's the same way I do when I go in on a movie set. We've already finished the film and we did great. Whether it's
Yeah.
day 1 or day 30 or day 200, it's done. I love it.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite makeup job that you've done so far?
The hard part about saying a favorite makeup job is it's a good idea, as you say, job, because a lot of movies I might not have done a lot of makeup in the whole movie, but that one piece was awesome.
Mhm.
Like on Taken 2 or 3, one of them, I had to make this guy's hand disappear, so as if he only had one finger. So that was a full prosthetic, and it was featured in the movie. Everyone loved it, and they all said the same thing. Everybody was asking me afterwards, that guy really have his hand cut off? I said, yeah, he cut it off for the movie and they stitched it back on later. But there's other times that I've worked, like creature features. I've done, mermaids that get out of the water, become a human, and then become a monster and eat people. I've, masters masters, and commanders. We did all kinds of effects on that movie, and swords, heads cutting off, arms being ripped open, and it was fun. I mean, blood and guts is very simple, and unless you have unless you're doing a full prosthetic, which I enjoy more because I like realism. I'd rather make it look real than just go, oh, look, it's gross. Um, uh, Guardians of the Galaxy was fun, and we had a lot of fun on that. I think I did about 500 ball caps in 4.5, 5 months of that movie. That was fun. Um, doing
Wow.
Stranger Things was fun, making bodies for it, making a deer get thrown up. And one of the most beautiful things was, on 11, making her nose look like it really did bleed as it was bleeding, as we were talking. That was very hard. Um, so yeah, there's a lot of favorites. I can't say which is my favorite, but
Yeah.
a lot of the favorites are, I just love doing. And the incidental creatures have been commercials and movies and movie videos. I mean, I did Roger Palmer music videos and created those beautiful looks of makeup that, made me famous when, in the 80s. But everything that I've ever done, I love all of it. That's the thing. It's, people say, oh, do you rather have beauty makeup or monster creatures? Actually, I'd much rather make a woman look beautiful. Um, I love women, all shapes and sizes, short, anything. I don't care. A woman is the most beautiful creature that walked this earth. And when I look at them, I see things that nobody else can even see. I see the things to accentuate, the things to bring out their beauty and their soul from the inside to the outside, where most people go, no, I can't do anything with her. Well, you know something? Then you're close minded, because there's nothing you can't do with anybody. If
Yeah.
you need put teeth on. You need eyes, you put eyes on. You need eyebrows, you put eyebrows. You need lips, you put lips on. So that's called creativity. That's what a makeup artist really is. I don't do makeup. I'm a makeup artist. When I'm creating an effect and cutting somebody's head off, I want people to look at it and not go, ew, gross. I want them to look at, whoa.
Yeah.
I want to say, wow, he really cut the head off, because that's what I want. I don't want to just cover it with blood and go, oh, isn't that look cool? All my Facebook lovers will go, look at, you should be a makeup artist. I'm sorry, I can't. Blood doesn't make you a makeup artist. It just makes you know how, somebody how to sling blood. Um, Masters and Commanders, just to bring that up, we went through literally almost 20 gallons of blood a day.
Wow.
Yeah. We were making 5 gallons of blood about every half hour, and we didn't stop. I
That
know.
that's insane. So
Yeah.
what is your preference over the makeup and stunts? Which one do you prefer? Or acting? What's your preference?
Actually, acting has always been my first love. I was in drama class since I was in elementary school and junior high and high school. College. I mean, I've been acting classes, comedy. I did comedy workshop. I performed at the comedy stop. Comedy store for Mitzi on amateur night on the days that I wasn't bodyguarding.
Yeah.
uh, Acting is probably my first love. Action acting, which is kind of a stunt actor, an actor that can do his own stunts, is one of my favorites. But as now, I'm mostly coordinating and acting because, 68, it hurts when I hit the ground now, especially when I get back up.
I would say so. I mean, it's not an easy job. It takes a toll on your body when you're doing it.
Yeah, I'll show you all the bruises. Broken bones, bad back. Oh, it's fine. Yeah, it's really great. Oh, it's so glamorous. Hold on, let me get my crutches and show you how good it is.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people don't understand about this industry. Everybody, they see people walking the red carpet and they just assume, oh yeah, it's so great, it's fantastic, and I want to do that. And then they get in the industry and they're just like, oh fuck, maybe I gotta work.
I know. Oh, they have no idea. All they do is go, I want to be famous. Well, guess what, honey? It's a lot of work. If you look at Mel Gibson, he did about, 20 movies before anybody even knew who he was. So, and then all of a sudden, oh, he came out of nowhere. Oh, okay, whatever you say. Chris Cooper didn't even start acting until he was 45 years old, and then he won the Oscar. So, yeah, it's something like I said, you have to have a passion for it. You have to love it. It's something, if you don't love it 100%, then why are you doing it?
Hmm. Well, I mean, another thing, these actors, they have done movies. Not everything's going to be on people's IMDb pages. Like we were watching Mystery Science Theater, and there's a movie that Matthew McConaughey's and that is so old, and they lay into him in this movie. It's so funny. You'd have to see that, but it cracked me up because I heard his voice and I thought it was him, but then I looked and I was like, no way, that's not. And I check on his IMDb and I'm like, well, the movie's not there, so he must have just not wanted to add it to his page.
I know. I probably erase at least 150 things off my IMDb, because a lot of people, like I said, they've called me in to do one thing on a movie, as either a stunt actor or do come in and do prosthetics or makeup because somebody else can't do it. So I'll come in there for the day, and then they immediately put it on their IMDb thinking, that they're going to get some better results from it, which they
Mhm.
probably will. But I don't want it. I don't want it on my. So I delete constantly. I mean, I hate going to IMDb anyway, because every time I go to it, it's like, oh no, not again.
You don't like doing very much at all. Don't want to be on
Right,
Zoom.
yeah,
You got a piece of tape over your camera. You don't like
right.
IMDb.
I know. I'm not a computer guy. That's why I've never done a Zoom. I'm not into it. I've done so many interviews on the phone, and when I do them in person, then I get all ready. I don't. I just got off my motorcycle from a short ride to the store and back. So it's like my hair looks like buckwheat, and I don't want that. I mean, I mean, if I'm going to be talking to people, I at least want them to look at, if they see me on the street, they go, "Oh yeah, that's Mike Michaels," instead of going, "Is that Bozo?"
If I could do a freaking Zoom meeting on a motorcycle, we would be in there all day
Yeah,
long. I would do that all day long.
my helmet on, I'll put my hat on. I'll be fine. My sunglasses, that'll be great. Get the bugs out of my forehead.
Oh my God. So what was it like for you to work on the Guardians of the Galaxy movie? I love that movie.
It was awesome. We prepped for 2 weeks. I mean, for 2 months, excuse me. We trained everybody in Atlanta to do this movie. We went through about 200 makeup artists and ended up with 20 of them. Um, and we trained them. We showed them how to do the bald caps that we're wanting, how we're going to be painting them, how we're making the prosthetics, the silicone prosthetics and the prostate prosthetic to put on the people, how we make the tattoos. So they learned a lot from us for the 2 months that we were there beforehand. And
Yeah.
then when we were doing it for 4 months, it was crazy. We had the department head and the key. We had special effects department head, and then we had 8 cores, which I was one of, and then we had about 40 makeup artists. We had a second team of makeup artists that came in and took all the makeup off and cleaned up our stations and got us all ready for the next day because we were already working anywhere from 12 to 18 hours a day. We were working on French hours, which is French hours. I don't know why they call that French hours because in France they only work 4 hours, but they had food 24/7. So whenever you can get a break, you'd go eat if you can, and you'd
Yeah.
eat. You hurry up and get back to set because you've got 30 people waiting for your touch-ups, waiting for you to go over it, and God help when they break the actors for lunch. Oh my God. Then you see 200 people running in and out of the place trying to get everything ready for the next shot. It was, a full stages of all green screen. It was an amazing setup. Great crew of people. We all had a great time. And don't get me wrong, we all had fun, but there was a lot of stress because we never really had time to breathe right. You know,
Yeah.
everybody was repairing each other's work. I mean, we had some of the best makeup artists, in that came from all over the world to work together, which was awesome. But we had people, like I would turn around, I'd see somebody fixing what I did on set because he was sweating and it was starting to leak and I wasn't there. Or I did the same thing for somebody else. There's another guy that was a great makeup artist and I had to fix what he did because it was lifting on the side. So you never knew what was going to happen. And it was just thank God that we were there because it was mostly the 8 core people, that were taking care of the set while the other ones were, pretty much cleaning up, doing stuff and, maintaining little things. But they would call us to come running over and take care of certain things, the airbrushing on set because we all had battery or propane powered airbrushes. And it was a lot of work. It was a constant job. I wouldn't have missed it for the world. It was a lot of fun. I didn't want to go back and do the third one only because I had already kind of semi-retired and I just didn't feel like working 18 hours a day anymore at 67 years old. So I said, nah, I'm done. But I'll still
Yeah.
work. I've done a couple movies. I've still done a bunch of movies since. I've still got movies coming up. And I have no problems running them, designing them, but I don't know if I'm ready to stand up for 18 hours a day again, running back and forth from trailer to set to trailer, trying to find a bathroom, trying to get a ride to set, which is an, 20-minute walk, and I'm not feeling like walking. It's 120 degrees out. So, and I mean, and when you're young, you don't even think about it. You're like, I'm running, I'm going, I'll be there. 20 minutes, I can make it in 5. So
Mhm.
I don't care. And as I got older, I started seeing it does take a toll on you, more mentally than physically. That's the funny part. More mentally than physically because of all the hangups and the handicaps and everything that happens on set, dealing with the producers, dealing with the directors, dealing with the casting, dealing with the actors. And don't get me wrong, everybody has a problem, but you just accept it because we all have it. I have them. They had to put up with my humor, and they had to put up with me not putting up with their bullshit and go, hey, don't talk to me like that. I'm the producer. I don't care who you are. Don't talk to me like that, and I'll give you 100% respect. But if you disrespect me, I don't even know you're alive because it's a two-way street. So from the director to the lowest PA or extra, there still should be respect. And that's what I always made sure happened. I mean, I've been on
Yeah.
that. I've been on sets where the actor, when they said the actor was up there with 200 extras and they were all sweating in 115-degree weather. And they said, all right, crew and actors go through the line first for food. And the lead actor went, hold on. We've been in shades. We've had air conditioning. We've had fines. We've had water. These guys have had nothing. They go first, or I leave the set. Guess what? 200 extras went through food before we did. And by the time they got there, we got to the food, there was nothing left. So,
That's really cool, whoever did that on that set, because I mean, I know from starting as an extra that the extras, they do get treated, I'm just going to come right out and say it, like shit,
well,
to an extent, you
they just don't
know.
expect.
Yeah,
And
they
you can't,
don't.
if you have a movie that needs 200 extras, they're just as important as the lead actor because the lead actors aren't stupid with nobody behind them.
Pretty much. Once again, bringing us back to the fact of the strike for the AI purposes of the use of people's images. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just like if you don't have that, you have nothing, regardless if you've got 40 extras, 20 extras. I mean, it doesn't matter. If you don't have them, you don't have a movie. And if you're making a baseball movie, you're going to at least need a quarter to be able to fill up 3 levels of the stadium before you can even multiply that. You know what I mean? And they're people too.
And you're gonna need baseball players that are
Well,
extra.
yeah. Yeah.
You know, I mean, they don't have any lines. All they do is stand out there and play baseball. So they still need to know what they're doing. You can't just hire anybody for that. And these are extras with special talents. I know an extra that's famous for just dancing. And he plays every sport in the world, but he was the most famous extra when it came to dancing in the 80s. That was it. He did every movie you can possibly see. He's penniless, and he never made any money, and barely makes residuals because they didn't pay extras in those days. But he was always being used, but he's an extra, and the sad part was they don't make any money when SAG became part of SAG, which is nice. They still do it, but you only have to have one actor and 20 unpaid. I mean, one paid extra and 20 unpaid is allowed. So it's kind of sucky for that too. So yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, it's a hard business, and you just got to make the best of what you have. And the only one that's going to advance you is you. Everybody says, "Oh, well, I wish I had somebody to help me like you did." I didn't have anybody. I didn't nobody. You
I didn't
know.
either. I didn't
You know.
either.
Yeah, that's the way it should be, though. I mean, I earned my stripes.
Yeah. I mean, just like when you're always telling me when we're talking outside of this call, damn, you're always working. You're always working. Well, yeah, somebody's got to do it. So I do. I work 7 days a week from probably 10 a.m. until 4 a.m. every day, every day. And
Said you're
it's,
going to do it for you.
huh?
You're the only one that's going to be able to do it for you. Nobody else can
Oh,
do it.
yeah, you damn straight. I got goals and shit.
Baby needs new shoes.
That's
My grandbaby
right.
needs new shoes soon.
But I mean, that's why I work the way that I do, because if I know that if I don't, it's not going to get done, you
That's
know.
right. And you raised your kids. I have a 32-year-old daughter. Now she's pregnant, and she was in my contract. Have kid will travel because I was a single father. I raised her since she was 2 months old, so I took her with me everywhere. I even bought a trailer when she was a baby, so I can take two of the stations and build them into a for her and my nanny because I wanted her with me. I wasn't going to be that absent parent. I was always there, so I took her. She flew with me, drove with me all over the world, everywhere, Tahiti, everywhere but Africa, because I was afraid that they might kidnap her and feed her to the alliance. But
Yeah.
but she was in my contract. Have kid will travel. She was with me everywhere. And then she became an actress. She was in acting movies, doing stunts with me, doing makeup with me. She did everything. And then when she turned about 17 and 18, she kind of got off the love and got tired and saw all the bullshit that I went through, that she was being put through, and she finally said, "All right, Dad, have fun." And I went back to college and did great, but and now we're married. So, um, It's not for everybody, but she had a blast doing it, and I loved having her with me because it's the best time of my life is knowing that my kid was with me. Um, and it was still not a loss of job. I never lost one job because of it. And like I said, I've done at least 240 movies as a stuntman actor. I've done, a coordinator. I've produced about 28 movies now, and as a makeup artist, I can't even count. I've done anywhere from 650 to 800 movies. So,
I
and
agree with you completely about taking the kid, because
oh yeah,
I'll take Cadence. She's well, the only one left that's not of age now. But if I'm going to somewhere like London or anywhere like that, then you can bet your ass I'm going to take her because one, it's a lifetime experience. And
right,
two, she's been on a set before because I had made it clear. I mean, if you want me there, this is the way it's got to be. I've got to bring her with me because she was younger and which wasn't an issue because she's good. She stays in her little bubble. And I was going to put her, as far as a role was actually offered to her, and she wants no part of in front of the camera at all. Voiceover, yeah. Animation, yeah. Music, singing, yes. As far as being in front of a camera, no. No.
well,
And
there's a lot of people out there in our business that are absentee parents, and they wonder why they have arguments with their kids. Their kids get into drugs. Their kids start, retaliating and rebelling. Well, that's because of it. Are you kidding me? I was in Mexico for 2 months. My daughter was 9 years old. She had the best time. She went scuba diving. She was on set. She was a PA. They gave her a walkie-talkie at 9 years old. And she loved it. It's been like that always. So yeah, I'm glad that some of the people that have brought their kids to set should. Brett Ratner, when we were doing Money Talks, she was about, I don't know, like probably 8 or 9 or 10, something around that same age. And I'll never forget, he had her on set. She was calling cut and action constantly. So.
that's awesome. So, what are your big plans? Do you have any big plans coming up?
Uh, I just finished producing a movie called The First Circle, which is an array of stars, which was great. We just finished that. It's just finishing up being the soundtrack is being put into the music into the movie. Mark Chapman directed it, he did a great job. He wrote it and produced it and did a great job as I was one of the co-producers, stunt coordinator, and I created the creature, the monster it will blow everybody's mind when they see it. Um, and it was a great show. It took us 2 years to finish it. And the budget wasn't bad at all. It's a nice budget, but it took a while. We had to stop and start different people. We had one certain idiot of an actor that caused nothing but hell and trouble and kind of ruined it a lot for everybody. But we got through it. We got rid of him, and then we cut out a few scenes from his stuff and hired a lot of better actors that were amazing. And now I have about 8 projects coming up. I got one I'm not starting, but one of the cast and creating the effects of Cynthia Rothrock movie, which is amazing cast of martial arts, all my buddies for the past 45 years. We're shooting that in October. I know you and I have a few projects coming up. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
We just have a lot, we do. I got a team of people that I love. Rick Wetzel, David Shark, Christina, Taragoff, a few other people that are, actors that I'm really good friends with. And we've all got together and kind of worked together on everything. It makes everything flow. And the producers and directors have always said, thank you for bringing your team, because we've all been doing this for so long. You don't have to ask us questions. You don't have to second guess us. We know
No.
what we need to do, and we do it. And we
Yeah.
have a good time doing it. We make you laugh. We have fun. We're there for everything. So what I'm doing now is loving life.
Hell yeah. All right, Myke. We are going to go ahead and wrap this up. And I'm gonna say thanks for coming on, and you can say your goodbyes now.
All right. I'm saying my goodbyes now. Everybody out there in video land. And I love everybody. I'm a happy person, but don't cross me. Family's so anyway.
Yeah, you heard him.
And thank you very much.
No problem. All right, guys, till next time. See ya.
I remember all those nights when I'd sing you to sleep, and the memory of your beautiful face was so sweet. My darling, won't you tell me you'll stay forevermore? And baby, all your cutest kisses I adore. Don't you miss feeling alive? All those nights where we laughed till we cried. Do you remember when we talked on the phone that first night and gazed upon the moon, blowing kisses to the sky? Darling, all our lives we've been lost and so alone. But baby, in your arms I finally found my home. And I've never felt so alive. Meeting you brought my heart back to life. In a world so cold and so tired, your puppet eyes set my soul on fire. On that night when I first gave my heart to yours, I was scared and feeling insecure. You told me, my darling, even on your darkest days, you'd always reassure